Yeah, it didn't work. Never mind. Hi there. I was torn between that or taps.
Well, when I heard that lead-in, it reminded me when I played the tuba, not very well. I just pressed buttons. I like marching. I wanted to put on my old band uniform, and start marching.
I was never in the band, but I dated a few members of the band. So
Is it true what they say
and
about
one
that?
was a tuba player? So
I had to play tuba, but I had foot surgery, so I got out of it. Yay!
All right, I'm gonna try the headphones again. Let's see if it works.
Well, sousaphones
and it
work.
doesn't completely cut me off.
Yeah.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Hear you?
I liked your opening. It was really nice.
Yeah, I wanted to march.
Thank you.
So we are streaming to my channel, to Arthur's channel,
and Shari's.
So
we are raring and ready to go. Yes,
the best of three worlds. I see Geek Hillbilly. Hi, Geek. I see Sharon Sipe. Hi, Sharon.
Sharon, Wayne is here.
Rose Blue.
Auntie Vaughn, Rose Blue. Karen Adams. No middle name.
Mimi.
Anja, Sandy.
Nancy
A
Cornett.
dog's friend. I love that name.
Me too. Aries Wanderer is in the house.
Casey, Libra Lady, Connie B, Sacred Hag. That's another one I like. Zach.
Wayne Rich is in the house. Hi, Wayne.
Harry. Yeah.
Hi, Ted Williams. Hi, Vicky.
Y'all
Kevin's in the house. Kevin, is Kevin in the house? Kevin Chandler. Hi, Kevin.
I haven't seen him yet if he is. Yeah, I'm scrolling back to the beginning. I'm just going to jump and see if there were any questions.
Well, I've got a lot of topics.
But yeah, I do. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 of them myself. So I just wanted to see if anybody had a question that mattered.
Can I just do a little housekeeping?
Go for
it. Sure.
I still got one opening for Africa. I've got room for 8 people on the Rhine. So if you're going to go to Africa, let me know. 847-590-5411. And tomorrow night, Shari is going to be a guest on my show along with Arthur. So it's going to be
for Aloha Tuesday.
Aloha Tuesday. Record. Arthur thought of that, Aloha Tuesday. So anyway,
I don't think I have my lei anymore. I used to have a flowered lei, but I could have wore that.
You could just come with lots of Aloha spirit. How's that?
There we go. That I can do.
Pixie
that blow my nose a lot. So
please. When you have allergies, girlfriend, it's the story of your life.
Yeah, well, I live with it year round.
So there you
go. When I first moved to Arizona, I thought, oh, I won't have to deal with allergies anymore. I'll be in the desert. No, I'm allergic to mesquite trees. I'm allergic to a lot of the cacti that are out there. I'm like, well, shit. Didn't do me any good, did it? So, well, gentlemen, thank you for coming back for another Draining the Swamp. We've had some very interesting things happen this past week. I'd like to start out by apologizing to everybody for missing last week. My son had a temperature spike of 103. I had to rush him to the ER where it was determined he had COVID. And by the time we got home, got him settled, it was like after 9 o'clock at night, and I was whipped. Then woke up the next day, and I had it. So
yeah, I called
Shari playing round robin. So
I called Shari Monday and I said, "Can we do it like next week?" Because I wasn't feeling all that great. And then she told me about her son, and and then COVID too. So anyway, but here we are.
That's it. So we're all here. We're all accounted for. And
better late than never.
That's right. Better late than never.
And of course, Arthur, you're in your front yard taking a shower because you don't need a shower because Southern California has got another atmospheric river. How are conditions there like?
Wet.
Arthur needs to arc.
Well, put it this way. I don't have to get my car washed. Just drive it.
I was talking to Linda G today. I was on her show today. And, we alternate Mondays, but she said she had to go out in the weather, even in Northern California. I think she's in Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
It was raining really hard there, and she didn't want to go out. And I said, well, just stay home.
I know. I had stuff to do. I said, I'll do it maybe tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll see what the weather's like. So
I remember when everybody was asking about the drought in Northern California and in California. Now, watch what you ask for. Well, here we are. Right? I guess the drought's over. That's good news.
Well, there's one grocery store in the neighborhood which everybody goes to because you park subterranean, so you don't get wet. You take an elevator into the store.
Yeah, but do you have a submarine to get in the parking garage?
They have plenty of drainage. Thank God.
Good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, down here, if it rains for 5 minutes, you got streets flooding. So,
Chicago,
the joys of living at sea level.
Well, isn't I think New Orleans is all below sea level, right?
It is.
Yeah.
New Orleans is below sea level.
Wow.
That's why they have crap. I can't think of what to call them right now.
Levees.
Levees. Thank you. All around them. Because they have the Mississippi River, Lake Pontchartrain, and the Gulf of Mexico. So they're in a bowl.
A few days ago here it was 14 in the morning and got up to like 25. And that's usually what the weather is like in February in Chicago. But here again, then it was like that for one day and then it warmed up. It was like the other day it was almost 60, and that's unheard of for February in Chicago. So,
well, it was 39 degrees here the other night. So for us, that's cold.
That's cold. So
we don't have insulation like other places.
Well, when it's 14 above, I've got on my long underwear.
Then again, I was talking to my friend in Fairbanks, and she was telling me with wind chill factor was minus 50.
Oh yeah, I've seen it that cold here. I remember one year it was colder here than it was in Siberia. Then it was cold. Do you know where people say, how do you get used to it? And it's very simple. You just get used to it.
Oh. Long johns.
Or you move to a warmer climate.
Yeah.
It's called Kashmir. Lots of Kashmir.
But I like Chicago. Chicago's a great city.
I've been to the airport.
Well, that's not even in Chicago.
I've been to O'Hare. And from O'Hare, I went to Great Lakes to the naval base, and then back to O'Hare and back to Phoenix. So
actually, that
was my trip of
where O'Hare is located is annexed by the city. It's really in Rosemont, but it's annexed by the city. And so as soon as you walk into O'Hare or on that annexed property, you're in Chicago. But it's not in Chicago. It's in Rosemont.
Yeah. A lot of big cities are like that with their airports.
O'Hare is humongous. It's huge.
Well, Los Angeles is pretty big itself.
I know. Yep.
Yeah, I've never been to LAX. That's going to be soon. Pretty soon. I'm be flying out that way. So, that's going to be an experience.
Before Uber, I used to take everybody.
Yeah, when I lived in Phoenix, I lived 2 miles from the airport, and I was forever giving people rides to the airport. It got to where I could get in and out of that place. Didn't even think about it. If I tried to go back now, I'd probably get lost really bad because they were always working on the roads and changing everything. So I've got a bunch of stuff that I've just kind of jumped out at me the last couple of days. I jotted down. Mel, you've got some questions you said you had.
I got a bunch of them.
Did you have anything that you saw, or you just
Kevin Lewis is in the house, whatever. I think.
Oh, yes, hey, Kevin. Both Kevins. Well, hello, Kevins. I started out with Matt Gaetz and this ethics investigation. Evidently, there's a woman who has testified to the Department of Justice already and has given them text and pictures and all kinds of stuff, which is not very good for Mr. Gaetz. With him saying, I don't know her, I've never seen her.
Yeah,
I don't know what picture she's talking about. So I think the biggest question so many of us have is his partner in crime is sitting in jail. Why isn't he?
Well,
and when is he going to get arrested?
Well, when they were investigating him, because the guy that's in jail, told them about Matt Gaetz, but they dropped everything. They stopped the investigation on Gaetz because they thought that the guy in jail wasn't a credible witness. But even when they just kind of put it on hold for a while, a lot of us, myself included, had predicted that ultimately Matt Gaetz would be indicted and would end up going to jail, and that at some point somebody would come forward and say, here's what he did. I never thought it would be the victim, but here we have it. So I see him indicted, I see him convicted, and I see him going to jail. It was funny on the show today, my light bulb went on, and I said, I see another member of the House, a Republican, leaving very, very soon. And I didn't think it was Matt Gaetz. I think it's somebody else. But I think that Matt Gaetz, I don't know, they might even force him to resign. I don't know. We'll see. But I doubt they'll try to force him too much because it's such a razor thin margin they have too, right?
Mm.
So, but I see Gaetz out of the House, and I see it happening a lot sooner than later.
Yeah.
What do you all think?
I've always saw him like doing his term, but then doing time.
Doing his term and time? When does his term up?
I'm not sure, but I just feel that he thought he got away with it and he didn't. It all caught up to him, and it's going to continue. But and three others.
Daddy's money only buy him out of so much trouble.
That's another good question. Will he finish his term? I don't see him finishing it. I could be wrong, but what do you guys think?
Well, I just pulled the sun reversed.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that's not real good. But I have not. Part of me has been like, okay, people, be done with this. Let's do it. Be done with it. But another part of me is like, okay, take your time. Get all the evidence you can so that he can't slip through the cracks.
Right.
Because from everything I've read about him, he's another one of those, much like 45, who tends to slip and slide right through all the little cracks and the loopholes.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to slither his way out of this one.
No. Yeah. It's also interesting, he did adopt a young Cuban boy too.
That's right.
That's so right. I don't know.
How old is the boy?
What is it about these Republicans
16.
and adopting young immigrant men?
I think it's servitude myself, but that's another story.
I probably think you're right, but that brings up another point. Like, if he's indicted and convicted, which I feel he will be before this kid is 18, what happens to the kid? Because I see the kid out of Matt Gaetz' care at some point.
Right.
I mean, between now and the time he's 18.
Either family members or I don't see the kid going back into the system.
No.
And was he in the system to begin with, or was he just somebody he plucked off the street?
I don't know. All I know is Cuban.
Yeah. So, and
the
one I feel sorry for is Gates' wife, because she is obviously totally clueless.
Well, I think that marriage was for show, but anyway.
I don't feel sorry for anybody at this point. Like that. They know what they're getting into. Oh, I didn't realize,
Yeah.
I didn't realize how corrupt he was until he stepped off his wallet, she said.
And I realized it wasn't his money, but Daddy's money. All right, Mel, what you got? What's the question you've got?
I got a bunch of them.
Well, shoot, hit us with one.
All righty. Don't you all think it's amazing that Trump never really commented about the death of Navalny or anything about Putin? And that's because Trump is getting favors from Putin. And then when Trump compared himself to Navalny, I wanted to go up. And, that's just making a lot of people mad.
Yeah.
But the question I have is about Navalny's widow. Her first name is Yulia.
Mm-hmm.
And my light bulb went on today when I was talking to Linda. And I said, well, first of all, I was wrong about something. So let me just get that out of the way. I didn't think that Putin would have Navalny killed. But, I mean, obviously, Putin murdered him or ordered him to be murdered. But I had said a long time ago that I saw Navalny becoming like almost very instrumental as a leader in helping to get Putin out and bring down Putin's regime. So I was wrong about Navalny dying, but I think what I might have been picking up on is Navalny's widow, because she has the same last name. And my light bulb went on, and she's going to be very, very, very instrumental in bringing down Trump. And she's really almost going to be kind of sponsoring a revolution against Trump while she's not living in Russia. So I guess my question is, do you all see her doing that? And two, is she safe? That's the biggest question. So what do you all think about it?
Shari?
I lost my train of thought. I've got a horny cat over here who's back and forth in my ear, wanting to come dance on the computer keys.
Well, what I get here is
my number one cat buster is the hair can. She can't stand it.
I mean, I did feel. I think I did a show a while back where I felt it's the women that are going to be getting rid of Putin.
Well, I've said that all along about Trump too.
And yeah. And I also felt that with Navalny's wife, I feel she will be safe, because if he were to try and do anything against her, I feel the whole world would be, he'd be in for a shock how people would just react to it the way they did.
They already
are. And Mel, I watched you and Linda's show earlier, right after y'all posted it. And when you were talking about this, the thought that came into my head is that Navalny actually has maybe more power to destroy Trump now than he did when he was still breathing.
You mean Putin?
Putin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Putin. Well, same difference.
See, that hit me too. Thank you, Shari, for bringing that up.
It just really struck me because you were talking about it, Linda was talking about it, and I was like, well, actually he's probably in a better position now, because now everybody's paying attention. What did he do to him? And what's, and is his wife being protected? So she's going to be even more protected now than she was before.
But do you all think that she's going to be successful in spearheading this whole movement to get rid of Putin, because she's not living in Russia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I do.
And that's
he's pissed.
Oh yeah.
I watched a little clip. I can't understand her. I don't speak that language, but I watched a clip of her talking yesterday, I guess it was, day before. That's one pissed off woman, let me tell you.
Well, I agree the women of the world will bring about a great change. But oh yeah, she's not going to stop, I don't think.
No,
as long as she's safe. I guess the next question, and I heard this on TV tonight, and it was just, I was like, whoa. And one of the commentators said, Putin needs America to help Ukraine lose the war. And I thought, whoa, because right now, who the hell is controlling this country? Is it Trump? He's controlling the House, because Johnson won't bring anything to the House floor that has to do with aid for Ukraine. Aid for Ukraine. So where did that come from? That came from Putin. And he,
Tucker Carlson was just over there getting marching orders for an update.
Well, that
just
was
before this all went down,
right.
Before all of this happened,
right.
Tucker was summoned And I agree with several other people I've heard say this, that he didn't just go on his own. He was told to come here, and he did. He knows who the boss is, and he was told, they were warned what was getting ready to happen and be prepared for it.
I think that interview is going to hurt him more than help him. People said it was really boring because it rambled.
I compared it to it. That was his jumping the shark moment. But in all sincerity, the House used to be the House, the Senate used to be the Senate, and they did what they want. But now it feels like even the Senate is in lock stock with Trump, and so it's the Senate and the House. But I'm still seeing Ukraine getting funded.
Oh yes, that was
money getting.
They get funded.
Mm-hmm.
Good, because I don't see Ukraine losing this war. They pulled out of a city today, but I see them taking that back.
They'll take that back. And I've been saying for a while now that I keep on feeling within 18 months, 2 years, Ukraine is part of NATO. Mm-hmm. So for that to happen, they've won the war.
I don't think they've joined NATO yet.
No, I said within 2 years.
Oh, they will. Oh, yeah.
In 2 years.
Gotcha.
In 2 years.
And as far as that city being taken by Russia, the biggest hit I got on it when I heard it was that was all planned.
Okay.
Zelensky took what he needed to take out of there, got the people out of there that needed to be gotten out, and then kind of backed up and let it happen. And because he did it to coincide just as Moses Mike sent everybody off on a vacation.
Right.
Moses Mike, I love that.
And then Zelensky was then able to turn around and say, dictators don't take vacation.
No.
And that was probably one of the best one-line zingers I've heard in a long time. It was like, yeah, that had to rub big time.
This is Trump's payback to Navalny, because remember he wanted Trump to lie, but I don't, it's the other thing I heard is a lot of people in the House and the Senate were afraid to go against Trump. Some of the senators came out and some of the representatives came out because they received death threats.
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, wait a minute, then how could you let a woman, even though I totally disagree with her politics, Liz Cheney, all right, and a few other Republicans that had a certain part of the anatomy to come forward. And that's what I see happening more. In fact, I see there's going to be people that'll come forward both here and in Europe to say that, they will have direct proof that Trump and Putin were hand in hand, if you will.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
We can say it, but you got to have proof, and there will be proof.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. I if you want me to shut up, tell me. I got a whole.
No. But
I just want to know: did everybody buy the gold sneakers?
Yeah.
No, I was not about. Yeah, I can get the same thing on Temu for $8.
I think Nike's going to pull that contract too. By the way.
And I bet you they're all made in China.
Oh,
where did he get the gold from? The toilets?
It's spray paint. Sorry.
Yep.
No,
not
his
even
golden toilet used to be known in history as the golden calf.
And they've got those sneakers have a T on them. You know? I'm like, oh my God.
I wish Mr. T would sue them.
I'm sorry.
I bet you half the
people
I wish
Mr. T would sue them.
Oh, there you go.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Mr. T.
Mr. T, wish he would sue them.
They should be orange.
And they're sold out. I can't believe that.
Yeah, they only had like 1,000 pair or something. I heard somebody say earlier. So it wasn't like there was a whole bunch of them to sell.
And the GoFundMe page is now up to what? 500. It's a lot of money. People chipping in their $5 to the GoFundMe page to bail out Trump.
Ian McGrath just came up with something. Can I read it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Putin told Carlson to tell 45 to tell Johnson to take a 2-week recess to stop aid going to Ukraine. That gives Putin 2 weeks to go at Ukraine. I don't know if Ian is just surmising that or if that actually happened, but I heard a yes with it. So that was a good
one. It rings true to me. It doesn't. I know when you were talking about the people leaving and not returning to their jobs, there was an article earlier on the Maricopa County election supervisor. That's in Arizona. Maricopa County that's the county where Phoenix is at. That's the state capital is. And he is leaving because the death threats against him have gone like astronomical. And he's a Republican. And this is from the MAGA people, threatening him and whatnot, threatening his family for simply doing his job of monitoring the elections as they get ready to come up.
Well,
and it's they're going to have to do something soon about this nonsense because you got honest, hardworking Americans who are just volunteering their time. These are not paid positions, most of them. They're people just offering to help out on election day and ballot count and whatever else needs to be done. And they're all getting, death threats and stuff for doing their civic duty.
Well, I see legislation being passed against that. I mean, that it's could be a federal crime to do that. And I also see some kind of software coming out that even if it's from a burner phone or something like that, they'll be able to trace it and know who made it. So,
yeah.
That and I was feeling that there's new legislation coming in 2025 regarding swatting.
Yes.
As well.
Yeah, that's gotten way out of hand as well.
Oh, by the way, Trump is making cologne too. It's called Stinky.
No, I heard about that. It was like, oh, to what?
Yeah, to go toilet. I don't know.
Oda depends. I don't know.
There you go. That was good. I love that. Oda depends.
Oda depends.
Oda depends. Yeah.
Parfum.
So, other than maybe Gates, does anybody have any flashbulbs, I guess, of other House and or Senate members that are not going to come back?
I see one
or not going to rerun.
Actually, I see 2 leaving the House. Gates obviously at some point, but I see somebody else leaving soon.
Yeah,
that's what hits me. I don't know if Mitch McConnell's ready to give up or not, but
he's not.
Oh, they'll get a Ouija board to
drag his.
Come on.
Yeah.
He's such a chameleon, though. I mean, one moment I think behind the scenes he can't stand Trump, but he's the one that started all this obstructionist politics years ago. I see Mike Johnson gone soon.
Oh, I've been saying by May. By May.
I hope you're right.
I said 10 minutes after I got his name, it's like no fear. He's out.
Yep.
What I'm picking up is there might be some moderate Republicans in the House that want to get rid of him, just like Gates did to
McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy. Yeah.
I think it'll kind of be the same thing here. But let's face it, for some reason, Trump wanted McCarthy gone. But I see Johnson gone too.
Well, that's because McCarthy was willing to work with the Democrats to keep government running to get things done and try to, I don't know, sugarcoat his legacy that he's going to leave on it after going through 14 votes just to get the damn job to begin with.
Well, I think somebody's going to smack a lot of the Republicans in the House and tell them, like, look, if Ukraine loses, and I don't think they will, but if they do, Putin's plans, and he's already pretty much said it, and I've been saying this for a long time, my guide showed me, because Putin's already made the comment. He's kind of like Trump. He'll let you know what he does before he does it. He dropped little hints. But he's already said, Putin has already said that any country that joined NATO after 1992 or something, that he would not recognize as being member of NATO.
Yeah.
And so that tells me a lot of those countries that were formerly under the umbrella of the old Soviet Union, he wants to take back. And he said he wants the old Soviet Union back. Yeah. So he's planning, I can tell you, to use...
That's been his goal from the beginning.
He's planning to use Ukraine as a holding ground so he can go through Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia and get the Baltic republics. And then to go down maybe into, I think, maybe Romania. What's that country near Moldova? I can't think of the name of it. But to use that
Moldova?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Something like that?
Yep. So my guides told me that's his plan. And I think somebody or a lot of people are going to start saying to the members in the House, like, look, here's what's going to happen if Ukraine loses. They need this help. And if they don't do something to help Ukraine and Ukraine loses, it could very easily start a third world war.
Correct. That's why these people do not know history. They've never taken a civics lesson. You know.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
Moldova, that's the name of the country.
MTG, come on. She's nuts.
Trump is comparing himself to Navalny, and I like, he just did that because he wanted to be, you know, he gets people to feel sorry for him by being the victim.
Oh, get off the cross, we need the wood.
Oh, you took my saying.
Get off the cross, we need the barbecue. We need the wood to build a bridge to get the hell out of here.
A barbecue. Yeah. All right.
Well, we could just do it the good old-fashioned Southern way and tie him to that piece of wood and tar and feather him and run him out of town. I mean, you know. Either way works.
Did you all hear the news that Trump placed last in the poll of the
Oh, and he's pissed because Obama was in the top 6, top 7.
And Biden beat Reagan.
Yeah.
In the lineup. Thank you very much.
Well, who the hell is running this country? That's my big question. Okay. Did you hear that Trump got booed in the Philadelphia Convention Center?
Oh, yeah, with the sneakers. Yeah.
With the sneakers, yeah.
Stinky sneakers and
it seems like everywhere he goes lately, he's getting booed. You're starting to hear it more and more. Guilfoyle, I don't know, Junior's girlfriend, the vampire-looking woman. She looks like she's got so much Botox in her face that if somebody pokes
she
her,
looks stroke smooth.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how she anyway. I don't want to go there. She was trying to give a speech for some event the other day, and it was like this room full of people, you know, like at dinner tables and stuff, and everybody's mingling and walking around and, you know, dinnerware and silverware clinking and clacking and talking, and she's trying to like shame them from the podium that it's not nice to not sit down and be quiet when someone's speaking to you. And nobody paused. They didn't even draw a breath to what she was saying. They completely ignored her. And she proceeded to try to go on and finish her speech. But I was like, how embarrassing is that you know, you can't get them to even be quiet for 5 seconds to listen to you, you know.
Kind of remember when Marjorie Taylor Greene, my tragic girlfriend, told everyone, "Can't we have some decorum on the floor?"
I nearly busted a gut when she said that.
That's like
I laughed so hard.
The submarine. Do you think we can install some screen doors?
Yeah.
Want a little fresh air, you know?
Yeah, right.
Just a little circulation.
That one fried me when she said that. Decorum.
But also the fact that Johnson gave her the gavel for the day. I mean, come on. That's nuts.
Pictures of naked men that you got off the internet, off his computer illegally, and maybe.
Well,
and
I still see a lawsuit coming down for revenge porn against her.
Yeah, and there's still no proof that was actually him.
Cool.
Or if it was a deep fake. You know, actors that did it and they just put his face on there, because
I think
AI is at the point now where they can do that so easily that unless you know what you're looking for, it's real easy to not catch it. I work with professors that's their research is AI, and it's like, that crap is scary. When I watch them with some of that stuff, it's like, holy crap, man, y'all.
I think secretly Marjorie Taylor Greene's got a crush on Hunter Biden. I do. She wishes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to be driving a Maserati, but I'm not.
For entertainment purposes only.
There we go.
Yeah. The one thing I did want to bring up is, have you noticed that recently Trump has been putting a lot of stuff out there, like rewriting news reports and all that kind of stuff, but scrubbing them and editing everything that he doesn't like out. And
I didn't hear about that.
Oh yeah. He's putting up like, he's quoting all these, like putting pictures of news articles and stuff, but they're all edited. Dig up the stuff he doesn't like.
This past week, I couldn't tell you who this morning I was like, oh, I got a show tonight. I need to look at the news.
No, but he's not doing it. Major news networks aren't buying it. Who's he peddling it to?
His people.
Oh, well,
the MAGA people,
they're gonna, you know what? The MAGA base will be the MAGA base no matter what.
Yeah.
Not going to change.
And they're slowly dwindling in size.
Well,
as more and more people get the bell going off and going, what am I doing following this lunatic?
Well, I'm always saying we have to send them love and light, because there's reincarnation and they're the upgrade. Please send them light till they get it right.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, Trump had to pay out all that money. What was it? $383 million plus how much to?
Oh, it's a lot more. It's
355,
almost at half
and
a
it goes
billion
up
now.
to 400 something with all the interest and penalties.
No, I get that, but he lost. That was a civil case in New York, but that was a civil case. That's different than a criminal case. But will he be convicted criminally of fraud in New York State? Because he hasn't been indicted for that. This was a civil
Not
case.
yet. It's coming.
One thing at a time.
So you think he'll be indicted criminally?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
And will he be?
Well, don't forget, Weisselberg's already been talking to the criminal side of things.
But will he be convicted?
Yes.
Oh, I think so. And now we know that that the Precious did not talk her way out of getting charged with some of this stuff either.
Who?
I called Ivanka.
Oh, I got
Precious.
you.
That's what I call her, the Precious.
Gotcha.
This is the way Trump reacts around her.
Precious.
Sometimes I forget. Not everybody knows what my brain is thinking. But I just saw an article the other day where they were talking about she thought she had skirted all of this because she stayed just far enough away to supposedly keep her hands clean of it and let Donnie and Eric take the fall for it. And evidently the judge that's overseeing that aspect and whatnot is like, oh, not so fast. You're not clear yet. You still got a lot to answer for. So she may be getting in trouble too. I mean, there's a good chance that they could all wind up in jail together. So not a lovely thought.
I see
with
some
her
of his
hubby
kids indicted.
next to her.
I see some of his kids indicted too.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I heard some good news today, not to change the subject, but to change.
Please do.
Well, it was the other day that I love this Prime Minister of Greece. He's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Greece just passed a law that gives gay people the right to get married.
Yes, I saw that.
Yay, I missed that one. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So long live Ilada. Ilada is the Greek word for Greece.
Years ago, I had a friend.
So everybody knows to go to Greece to get married now.
Years ago, I had a friend who was dating a Greek person. And they owned this very famous restaurant in New York. And he said they were sitting there watching this movie about Aristotle Onassis, about his younger years, and how Aristotle Onassis had at the time a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole place was up in arms. So my friend said to his boyfriend, "Why is everybody so upset?" I thought they were cool. He goes, "They don't care to get a boyfriend. The guy's Turkish."
Who was?
Onassis's younger boyfriend at the time, when he was younger, he was a Turk.
Oh, I see.
They didn't care that he had a boyfriend. The fact that he was from Turkey, they wanted to kill him.
That's what they cared about. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I was so glad that Greece did that, and I heard that. And I have a lot of Greek friends, and my office manager is Greek. And in fact, there's a really good restaurant here called Mykonos, and the food is wonderful. The owner and her family are wonderful people. It's my favorite restaurant. So,
Bagaristo.
I'm sorry?
Bagaristo.
Evharisto.
Thank you in Greek.
Okay, y'all are over my head now.
You're welcome. Anyway.
Shift again to another topic very quickly.
Thank you, Greece.
There we go. Yes, thank you, Greece. It appears that Representative Tim Burchett of the House, Republican, of course, labeled some Chiefs fan during the shooting and everything for their parade. There was evidently some gentleman that was sitting over by where the police were and all of this other stuff. And whatever, I guess the way he was sitting looked like he was handcuffed, even though he wasn't. And Representative Burchett went on Fox News and made this big accusation about that guy was the shooter and da-da-da-da-da. And
he wasn't.
This man had nothing to do with it. He was just an innocent bystander like everybody else. And they were talking about now he's getting death threats and stuff from people saying, accusing him of being the shooter. And do y'all see him suing Mr. Burchett for slander?
Yes, and he's going to win.
Good.
Slander and libel.
I don't think I'll go to YouTube jail for this. But I thought you said when you were saying Burchett, I thought you were saying bear shit.
Oh,
what's the difference? It's a Republican.
That's the Southern in me, yeah. Okay, Representative Burchett, I can go with that. So
that's like the Republicans have a think tank.
They have what?
It's like saying the Republicans have a think tank. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, right. Like a jumbo shot.
Yeah.
But yes, I think the guy will sue. And
military intelligence.
That's another, military intelligence, right? That's an oxymoron. I think the guy's going to sue Bear, you know what? Bear Poop. And also, that's his new name, Bear Poop. And also, he's going to sue that news channel.
Yeah.
Call it that. And he's going to win.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I just caught it earlier, so I hadn't even had time to really sit down and think about it, but I jotted it down because I was like, well, damn, now they're pointing fingers at the wrong people, so.
Well, if you've noticed, anytime there's a shooting now, somebody in the house is always going, oh, it's transgendered person.
Oh,
well, this guy evidently looks like he's an immigrant, even though he's not. He was born right here in the good old US of A. Just a little bit darker skinned, and maybe, I don't know, I'm sure whatever mix his family is. But this representative made this big to-do about this guy was a shooter and he's an immigrant and he got in because of Biden's open borders and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh my God, do you realize?
Yeah, but if you voted, the borders would be closed. Sorry.
I see a lot more lawsuits being filed against Fox News for the
misinformation.
And OAN and Newsmax. And I mean, there's several of them now that are jumping all over each other, trying to out.
And
stupid.
All this money going to Newsmax now. Everybody's going, oh my God, Trump's going to be. I don't see it. I don't see Newsmax helping Trump with their money and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be the way they think it's going to be. I'm
Just
sorry.
like the company that won the lawsuit against Fox News because of the whole voting machine thing. It was a lot of money. I see a lot more big lawsuits filed like that.
Well, there's another voting thing coming up, voting machine company coming up against Fox.
No, but I see a lot of other companies and other people filing lawsuits for the same sort of thing. And some will be settled out of court, but some will go to court, and they're going to be record settlements to the point that I don't know if that network can survive.
Yeah, good. It doesn't need to, in my opinion. Strictly my opinion only. Another shift real quick, something that
I like the shifts. Those are fun.
At least they're not tectonic.
Is Biden has signed into law, everything got passed for the summer EBT program, the school lunches for kids in the summer when there's no school, which feeds tens of millions of children that would normally go hungry in the summertime. It's now this summer, it will officially launch as a permanent federal program for all children.
Yes.
There are 14 states, all run by Republican governors, who have turned down this offer because the only expenses that they're asking to contribute to is to split the administration cost with running it in their state. Not even paying for it fully, just split the cost of the administration. The government, the federal will pay half, the state pays half, which is pennies on the dollar compared to it. My state is, of course, naturally, one of the ones that has turned this down. And so that means there's a lot of kids this summer that are going to go hungry with nothing to eat because mom and dad are too busy working, trying to keep a roof over their heads. And food prices are still through the roof with companies making profits hand over fist and not going back down on the prices, which is another thing that needs to be dealt with. But I was just wondering if what y'all thought about that, if you saw any way that they're going to be able to do an end run around that, maybe keep the governors from stopping it in its tracks. I mean,
twofold. Number one, at some point these kids are going to grow up. And they're going to say, there'll be voters, and they're going to say, remember what, those Republican governors did? They wanted us to keep from getting food. Okay. Second part is I see a way around it. I don't know if the federal government's going to say, okay, you don't have to accept this program, but if you don't, okay, then we can open distribution centers in your state, or we will penalize you in other ways. So I see a way around it, and these governors are going to be forced to accept that program.
Oh, my governor couldn't jump on the bandwagon fast enough. I mean, when Abbott started the crap with sending people to the border, my governor jumped up, sent our National Guard over there to protect us from the hordes coming over the
which doesn't exist, by the way.
Right, exactly.
By the way, your governor will be a one-term governor.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God. I mean, that's what I've seen, but it's nice to have a little bit of confirmation in that, because we had 8 years of a very conservative Democratic governor. Did a lot of things I didn't agree with because he was just a very devout Catholic man, and that's just how he believed. But he did a lot of good stuff for this state, brought a lot of money in, did a lot to help the schools, did a lot to help people who kind of fall between the cracks. They're not poor enough to get most aid and assistance, but they don't make enough money to pay for insurance and buy everything. And so he made a big difference in this state. And our new governor is now, the man is like, I don't think he's slept. He's so busy trying to undo everything that's been done in the last 8 years. And I heard about this because there was a big article in the local newspaper this morning that in the digital paper talking about there were already like, I want to say the paper said 2 million kids just in Louisiana that are going to now be without summer lunches this summer because of this decision. And there was this huge amount of people that literally went to the Capitol raising holy hell, telling them, what is your problem? Why do you hate children so much that you're not willing to feed them? And that's what escapes me is these people who claim to be pro-life, and yet they do everything they can to harm life. So,
I agree. I see a way around it. And, if had an independent, or no, let's just say a MAGA, which wouldn't happen, had they come up with this idea to appropriate money to, feed school kids, oh my God, those governors would have been all over it like white on.
Yeah. But, well, the states that have turned it down are Alaska, Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Iowa, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, and Vermont. So if you live in any of those states, and I'm directing this to the chat, call your governor's office and say, what the hell is wrong with you, and why are you against feeding the children of our state?
I wonder why Vermont turned it down. I didn't think they were red. They must have
evidently they got a Republican governor now. Yeah.
Well, all the states you called, except for some out west, were really pretty much all southern states. And then the states that were in that were Confederate states. It's almost seems like it's a form of secession without seceding, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I just got to ask this. Somebody's no middle name says Mitch McConnell. This is cute. Is he a Kentuckian, Kentucker, Kentuckyite, or all three? I'm obsessed with state nicknames of residents. People from Kentucky are called Kentuckians.
Yeah.
He's a turtle.
Well,
no, that's an insult to turtles everywhere.
I know, but
that was
you realize people send turtle food to his office every month.
Well, I'm a Kentuckian. I'm not a Kentucker.
It's like in Louisiana, you're a Louisianian. In Texas, you're
Illinoisan.
a Texan.
But I'm not a Kentucker. But I am something that rhymes with that.
I could play with that word.
Me too.
So mainly, I just wanted to get that out there for people in the chat.
Kind of rhymes with something like Tucker Carlson's name.
Yeah, doesn't it though? Funny how they all kind of go right
Fire
together.
truck has the same letters, by the way.
Yeah, it sure
Who does.
Fire truck.
Fire truck.
Oh yes, it does.
But I wanted to get the names of the states that have turned this down because they don't.
It's going to come back to bite them in the tuchus. Yes. I'm telling you.
I just want people who live in those states to be aware.
Wait,
call
Shari,
your representative.
Tell us again what states those were.
Alaska.
Hold on, I'm going to write these down. Alaska.
Okay. Idaho. Wyoming. South Dakota. Iowa. Oklahoma. Texas. Louisiana. Mississippi. Alabama. Georgia. South Carolina. Florida. And Vermont.
Vermont blows me away.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, I like that. I wrote them down.
Yeah, so that's when I saw the article this morning, and then I did a little research, and I found another article that actually listed all the states, and I was like, I'm going to write those down.
Good.
So, because I figured the more people that know, the more people that can say something.
Correct.
Whether if it's water cooler talk at the office, or it's picking up the phone and calling your local representative saying, hey, get up off your ass and do something about this.
What was after Mississippi, did you say?
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Obviously, Arkansas didn't do it, huh?
No, Arkansas is not on the list.
Wow.
Neither is Kansas.
Wow. Well, at least their governor
doesn't mean that they won't join the list, but
is it because Arkansas changed their child labor laws so they'll get lunch as they work?
Right.
Yeah, same with Kansas. You know, they're
but you know, these governors don't realize that when they pull crap like this, that if there's any undecided voters out there, especially people with kids that this is going to impact, you know, they think that they're getting what they call conservative votes. But when is conservatism letting kids go hungry? That's not conservatism.
Right.
That's inhumane.
And basically what the article said was this amounted to roughly $120 per eligible child in food stamps that they would get. So if you've got 3, 4, 5 kids in your house that are all eligible, you know, that's $120 times whatever, you know, that's a lot of food you can buy to feed your kids. And because it's expensive trying to feed children.
And you know what, Shari, it's a perfect example of those same people who are anti-abortion, but really they're not pro-life, they're pro-birth. But here again, once those kids are born and they force the mother to keep that child, then they put programs to help that child.
Yeah.
Well, it's total hypocrisy.
Or have the gall to turn around and say that the father who's the rapist has you know, rights to see
parental
that child.
rights.
It's like, yeah, it's like no. I mean, or that his family has rights. It's like, no, I'm sorry, but that's not how that works in my book. But
I mean, this is an exact, I forget who said this, but it's a quote I was watching on a news program where they're talking to a rapist, and he said, now I get to choose the mother of my children.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sad. Exactly.
Isn't it
and can turn around and sue the woman for child support if they're in jail.
Isn't it horrible that, you know, when we have independents or Democrats in office, things tend to run smoothly, but we get the MAGAs in the House and immediately it was chaos. The damage that Trump did to this country in 4 years is unfathomable. And it's embarrassing and it's a disgrace. Biden has done more than any president in this country since the 60s.
And he gets no credit.
He gets zero credit.
Yeah, none.
None at all. Do you all see the Democrats and the independents at least becoming more on the offensive and starting to speak up?
I do.
Oh, yeah. I've been seeing
I'm seeing it happen. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But I've been seeing in June and July, the gloves are coming off.
Good.
Gloves are coming off. And you're going to see Brandon really cracking the whip.
Who? Yeah, and
Dark Brandon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the ads they're running right now are priceless.
Hold on.
The ads that Biden's people are putting out now are priceless. All they do are just have Trump gibberish and gibberish and gibberish, and that says it's not.
And Shari, you were saying something?
I'm sorry, Shari.
Oh, I was just saying that there are several representatives already, like in Texas, Louisiana, some of the other southern states and whatnot, or at least Republican-controlled states, that are starting to speak out big time, like during committee and during hearings and whatnot. They're not playing that game anymore.
Good.
They're flat getting in their faces. I know there's the one young lady in Texas, and I can never remember her damn name, black woman, very pretty. She's
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett, that's it. I always want to say Magnolia, and it's like, no, that's the wrong damn flower.
I love that movie, Magnolias. That was a great.
Yeah, that was a great movie. But I mean, I've watched her take MTG and Bobert and some of them, I mean, just rake across the coals, and they have no response back to her because she doesn't play that nonsense. And a lot of them, Murkowski and not Murkowski, what's Moskowitz,
Florida, Moskowitz
from Florida, and there's another guy,
Maxwell Frost out of Florida.
Yeah.
And then the guy here in California, I forget his name. They just ripped them apart.
Yeah.
But what I love about Jasmine Crockett, when she's talking to Bobart, she says, "Oh, that's right. You didn't go to law school. I did. So let me tell you something."
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't waste any time whatsoever to point out the fact that they're idiots. I'm the one with a law degree, you know. And she does it in that very bless your heart tone of voice.
God bless.
You know, and just the way she phrases it and words it, it's like half the time they just have this look on their face like, what did she say?
I would love
it takes them a minute to get it, you know.
I would love to hear her say, and while I'm at it, bless your heart.
Oh, I've heard her say that to a few of them, you know, well, just bless you. I understand you don't comprehend this. I'm the one with a law degree here. So, you know, it's a little above your pay grade, but this is how it works. And she cracks me up every time I see a chance to watch her. I do, because she tickles me to death. She's something else.
Oh, I just got something about Vermont. Getting it right says Vermont said they turned it down due to the administrative cost would be a budgetary burden due to the timing, but they plan to participate in 2025.
Well, I see a lot of
never,
but that doesn't feed kids this summer.
No, and they're probably thinking if if the Republicans are elected, which they won't be, then they would overturn it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. Somebody just put, what is it? I guess Moskowitz was wearing a tie with a Smurf on it.
Yeah, that's because Tomer Pyle called him a Smurf.
Yeah, so he just owns it. And there was I don't remember if it was him or the other guy that was talking about. It's funny they're not having that committee hearing anymore on something to do with one of the committees that's trying to impeach Biden, and they're like, you know, all of a sudden they've stopped meeting because I guess they're getting tired of me zinging them really good, you know, because none of them answered their subpoenas when they were subpoenaed to come in and testify.
That's the hypocrisy of the whole thing. That just blows me away. So by Hunter Biden showing up, he's really giving them the middle finger saying, look, I'm showing up. You guys.
What? I love it because they were like, look, he's right there. He's ready to testify. Ask him whatever you want. He's right there in the room, you know.
Well, don't you think it's brilliant that the feds are now going after the star witness of Burisma, that he lied?
Yeah, I heard that.
You know, the secret weapon to bring down Biden.
Say again, Arthur, I'm sorry.
The main witness that the Republicans had during the whole campaign about Burisma, and he was the inside person talking about the Bidens and Burisma, he lied. He's now going to be indicted.
Good.
Yay. Good. Absolutely good. Well, gentlemen, we've been at this an hour. Yeah, I know. Do y'all want to go a little longer? Are you ready to wrap it up or what?
I can go about 10 minutes longer than I am.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You got it. I'm through my questions, so I'm out. I know you got bound to have some questions there, Mel.
I do. Okay. Well, the U.S. is proposing a temporary ceasefire in Gaza in a draft to the United Nations, a resolution to the United Nations. The question is, when will that conflict end? Because what Hamas did to Israel, they orchestrated by Iran, and Putin was behind it because they wanted to destabilize the Middle East, was completely wrong. It was horrible. But Netanyahu's already won this thing. And it's time to stop killing innocent people. And he's telling these people to evacuate a certain area. The only problem is there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah, where are they going to go?
So I guess 2 questions. When will the conflict end is one. And what happens to Netanyahu?
I've not seen anything good for Netanyahu. Every time I've read on him,
I always pick up Netanyahu being gone June, July. They're ousting him or running him out. June, July. I always feel Netanyahu is going to be running for his life in June, July, away from the people.
Oh, okay.
Well, the moon.
They're coming after him. And I feel the conflicts and everything, I feel as we get into April, that's when a lot of things around the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, that's when things start mellowing out, believe it or not.
And Shari, you got the moon? Ooh.
I pull the moon, and then I pull the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So
the moon means things coming to the surface, hidden,
illuminated.
Yeah.
And the Knight reverse could be Netanyahu, right?
It can. I mean, it's the opposite. I had to look it up because I went blank on what it meant. Upright, it just means efficient, practical, reliable. So reverse just means he's none of those things. Very unreliable, very, very much not a committed person, or at least not committed to what's good for him. But yeah. And the moon is also considered female energy. So that's again another female embodiment, to work against these idiots.
So here's another one I wrote about Trump, about the hush money paid to a porn star Stormy Daniels. There's supposedly a trial beginning on March the 25th of this year. 34 criminal counts against Trump of falsifying business records in New York. Trump was indicted by a grand jury in New York, covering up this hush money. He pleaded not guilty on April 4, 2023. Do you all see it coming? 2 questions. Do you see it coming to court March the 25th? If not, when? And also, do you see him found guilty on well, I don't know about all 34 counts, but do you see him found guilty on numerous counts, I guess is the question. Go ahead.
March 25th, it's still happening.
Oh, good.
Number 1. Number 2, I'm getting guilty on 23 of those 34.
Okay.
Yeah, I pulled the 8 of Swords. That's, feeling trapped, restricted, feeling powerless. So, followed with the Ace of Wands. So that's like within a month to me. Ace 1 month. March is just around the corner. So,
all righty. It said that Trump overstated his net worth by as much as 3.6 billion. And they called it repeated and persistent fraud. That was a civil case in New York, Judge Engoron. But I see that being referred over for criminal as well. We talked about that. So do you guys feel him indicted with that too?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Yay. I've just got one more. I wrote little notes before we got started. So that's where I'm
okay. Yeah, go for it. I ran through all of mine, so you're up.
That's where I'm getting the questions from. There were hundreds detained in Russia for just maybe laying a flower at some kind of monument. Hundreds of people. And, Navalny's spirit, I think he said it when he was alive, if something happens to me, don't give up. I forget exactly what he said.
Right.
So I see a lot more people protesting in Russia. And some people were sad in Russia. They said they felt they had lost a leader, but I think his wife will take over. But my question is, I'm seeing mass protest in Russia.
Yeah.
And what do you all think? I mean, they could try to arrest all those people, but that would just cause more mass protest. And that's how I see it going. What do you all think?
Yeah, I think it's going to get really ugly. I know one of the biggest catalysts for this was when they set up somebody, I guess, had put up a memorial for Navalny passing, and it was a young teenage girl who walked by and just laid flowers on it, and they grabbed her and arrested her and drug her off, and people are pissed off about it. Again, another woman, they just don't understand the power of a female when you piss her off to that degree. It's not good.
Hell hath no theory.
Like a woman scorned. Amen to that.
The ones that have been arrested, do you see? I don't see all of them. I think what they'll do is make examples out of a few of them.
They'll be released.
But it won't work.
No. Well, it's just like, did you hear about the woman? She was wearing rainbow colored earrings in Russia, and she was arrested and put away for 4 days for gay propaganda.
Who does that sound like? And it sounds so reminiscent of Hitler, and it's
and Mussolini.
And people wonder how it could. People wonder about how, for example, Muslims can be radicalized. Guess what, folks? Open your eyes. It's happening right here in our own country. Look at how radicalized people are becoming. And it's all because of misinformation that, was spewed out by Trump and the MAGAs. And it's the same in Russia. Don't forget, Putin was an old KGB. And they specialize in misinformation. But people's eyes are opening to it. And I'm so happy that they are. So, anyway.
Exactly.
I see Trump gone and Putin gone. Hallelujah. Somebody asked today with Linda's, like, when is all this stuff about Trump going to end? And my response was, when he crosses over.
Yeah. And even then it's going to drag for a while, because we'll have to live through all the conspiracy theories that, the Democrats had them done in, or some such nonsense. I'm waiting on
Trump
that.
with Elvis. What are you talking about?
Say again?
I saw Trump with Elvis. What are you talking about?
Yeah, on that island where they keep brains alive or something. And
really.
They have ray guns from space and all that stuff.
As I've always said, when Marjorie Taylor Greene said that it was
Jewish space
lasers that were causing the fires in California, I always said, if that were true and they had her address,
it would be like zap.
It's almost as bad as Trump showing up in California after one of the fires and was like, well, you can't just sweep the floor of the forest and get rid of all the stuff. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, that was like, well, can't we just treat this virus with some white? I was like, what?
No, bleach in the blood. Bleach. Inject bleach.
Inject bleach and shove a light up their butt, and that's going to get rid of it.
Doctor didn't say a word. She just put her head down. I'm like,
isn't that how Pablo Picasso's grandson tried to commit suicide, was by drinking bleach because they didn't let him go to the funeral?
No clue.
I can't win $1 on Jeopardy, but I know crap. I don't know why.
I got it for stuff like that too. Okay, guys, I got to run, but I love.
Well, it's been an hour and 13 minutes, almost 14 minutes. So
what do you have coming up, Shari?
I'm going to be with y'all tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So
tomorrow night, Shari's going to be with us.
Wednesday is Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. Thursday is, this week is Golden Girls, which is more political talk, where me and Marina and Val and Cleo all take the name of one of the Golden Girls. I'm Blanche, by the way. And then, of course, Friday is Polyterology with Colleen, and
it's a fun show.
And then I don't know, a bunch of stuff this weekend, ending with the meditation thing for Ukraine. So And maybe I'll be able to go back to work by midweek. I don't know.
We're going to do this. Was it the 2nd and 4th? I forgot.
Yep, the 2nd and 4th Mondays of the month. So technically the next episode would be this coming Monday on the 26th, because that would be the 4th Monday of the month.
Perfect.
Okay, I may have a show then with somebody else. We'll see.
Yeah, I think you already said that you had a previous commitment on the 26th. And I said, well, then Mel and I will do it.
Okay, we'll see.
We can always invite a third person to come in if you want. And, you know.
You mean I'm replaceable?
Yeah, well, not really, but, you know, they could pinch hit for an hour.
I'm just kidding.
I enjoy doing this. This is fun. Arthur, what do you have coming up?
Aloha Tuesday with Mel, and tomorrow with Shari. I'm doing a show with Val, Dragonfly Crystals, on Wednesday. Friday, Poly Tarot with Shari. Then Sunday is the meditation for Ukraine with Colleen and her group. And then possibly Monday with Marina and Allie. And then Tuesday with Mel again.
I can't think that far ahead. I got to have my appointment.
Oh, and just one housekeeping. I started memberships. So I started them this week.
And I'm 300 away from hitting 2,000. So
and everybody go
pushing for 2,000 subscribers.
And I'm still putting out there that one person that still has to go to Africa for Mel gets a reading with me.
So sign up. Don't.
Well, if that's what's keeping you away from signing up, then you won't get a reading with me. Okay.
And everybody, everybody be sure to go to Shari's channel, Arthur's channel, thumbs up, hit the
like, subscribe, and share. Like I put in the thing, it's free. You can do it for nothing. Correct. And hopefully, I'll have my memberships rolling out next month.
Yeah, I'm pushing memberships too now. So what am I doing? I don't even know what I'm
waking up tomorrow.
Wednesday, tomorrow I think is Kim Copeland and something with Deanne.
No, tomorrow is Aloha Tuesday.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Tomorrow's Aloha Tuesday. Wednesday, I think Kim Copeland and something with Deanne. Thursday's Kevin Chandler. I've got something for Friday. I don't know what it is. Typically, I don't do much on the weekends, but I'm starting something new called Morning Moments with Mel. So I think the week I'll be doing that and just see how it works.
Cool.
Well, we'll tune in.
So there you go.
Let us know. Well, thank you everybody for coming and hanging with us while we snark and poke and prod at our crazy politicians and maybe hopefully get some people to realize what's going on. And if you live in one of the states that's turning down the money for feeding kids this summer, please give your governor's office, your representative, whatever, give them a phone call and ask them, what the hell is your problem?
Can we say
why don't you want to feed kids?
Can we say them again? I got them.
Yes. Go for it.
Alaska, Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Iowa, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, and Vermont.
There you go. So if you live in any of those states, pick up the phone and make a phone call. You know.
So let's put out the white light, purple light, all the good stuff, so that these kids are taken care of.
Yeah.
And get out there and protest. Say, feed our children.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, that's our kids. I mean, what it all comes down to is it's the kids that are going to go hungry, and that's just not cool in my book.
There is no reason that anybody in this country should go hungry.
No, none whatsoever.
And there's no reason that anybody in this country should be homeless.
Correct.
Or without health care.
Or without health care. I agree.
You know,
I'm on Medicare now, and it's not a bad deal. So
I'm debating that.
It's not actually. I love it.
I got a few more years to go, and then I'll jump that shark when I get to it.
I thought it would be. I didn't know. I thought, oh my gosh! But now that I'm on it, it's like I'm saving more money then when we had to pay, Gary's company paid for a big part of our healthcare insurance, but we were paying almost $1,800 a month.
Wow.
Since they didn't.
Yeah.
And now
I don't even want to think about what it costs me.
Well, now with everything I'm paying out, it comes to about $487 a month. So look at the savings, and
that's good.
Covers pretty much everything. So
yeah,
I'm paying more with Medicare than I am with what I had with the Affordable Care Act. So it is what it is. It all works out.
Medicare's not a bad deal, though. So.
I'm not. I got a few more years to go down here before I'm eligible for Medicare. So,
and I don't think Medicare is going to go away. The Republicans might try, but it's not going to go away.
And Social Security.
No.
If anything, I see them extending benefits for eyeglasses and hearing aids and dental.
So, that's been a big push for that because
not being the Advantage plan either.
No.
Yes, don't. Please, people, do not sign up for an Advantage plan. It's a ripoff.
Just regular.
It is a ripoff. Yeah.
But
so,
I mean, they might charge extra for dental, but I pay that extra.
Yeah. I mean, just like if you take a lot of medications, if you know.
But I like Mel. But I like when you go.
Yeah.
I do the same.
My prescription plan is $78 a month, but to date, I've had prescriptions filled and not even had to make a copay on it. So,
I paid $7 for 3 scripts that I picked up today. That if I would have had to have paid for them, would have been over $400.
Oh, one of mine alone is like over $1,000, and then I'm on an injectable that's more like $2,000, $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
Now I've got one they won't cover, which I get from Canada. So it's like $4,000 a month here in the States. So I have to take the brand
because you can't take the generic, right?
Correct. I need brand, and so it's close to $4,000 for 3 months here. It's $126 or $198 for 3 months out of Canada. So Canada.
Just get Marina to pick it up for you and ship it.
They do it already. It's all fine.
By the way, Shari, I love the Polly Tarot. That show's really cool. Tell everybody.
We have a blast with it, and I mean, at first I was just on a couple of times a month, and then I started helping Colleen with just being her admin during the show. So now I'm like on all of them, which is a blast. So I get to read with everybody.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So whenever y'all feel the urge and want to join up, just say the word. I know she'll be glad to stick you in the lineup.
I want to do it again sometime. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I will let her know.
Psychics getting together.
That's right.
Tell her, yeah.
And that's exactly what we were.
It's on Friday nights, right?
Friday nights at 6 o'clock Central.
All right. Tell her to count me in.
That's Chicago time. So, yeah.
Ready? All right. So, meanwhile, I got to run.
All right, guys. Thank you,
everyone.
Everybody, for spending the time
tomorrow night.
with us.
Thumbs up.
See you tomorrow. Bye.